Hello everybody, Justin here from Adventures Away, and today we have another Epic Universe construction update. I do want to thank everybody for all of the support and feedback you have given me on these videos to make these videos and this channel better. Be sure to subscribe for more. Without any more delay, let's get into this update, starting with the central hub. There haven't been a whole lot of major changes to the central hub since our last update, but there have been some changes to the already existing structures. Now let's take a look at each one of these one by one. Over at the central carousel, more of the perimeter walls that make the shape of the middle lagoon are starting to go vertical, creating the shape that the lagoon will be around the pathways and the central carousel. Behind the carousel, where the rumored kid splash pad will be, the retaining wall has been completed and they're starting to backfill with dirt in preparation for the plumbing work that will proceed before they lay concrete. There has been some noticeable change over at Starfall Racers where the entrance canopy has been erected. There is also some steel that is staged towards the back of the load station, more than likely going to be the exit canopy. There have also been some trees recently planted outside of the load station. At the business end of the roller coaster, it really seems like the landscaping has been 100% completed. Grass is growing, bright concrete has been poured, trees are growing, mulch is down, and it really gives the effect that Starfall Racers is ready for opening day. The barbecue restaurant in the back of the park has seen the rooftop air conditioners added, so more than likely, the construction workers inside are nice and cool. Around the Villaggio-style fountain in front of the main in-park hotel, one of the concrete forms that we saw last time has been poured, and two others are waiting to be poured now. The full-service dining location next to the fountain really has not seen a whole lot of progress visually since our last update. Moving back towards the front of the park, in front of the restaurant Atlantic, the first of the three main fountains has seen the entire perimeter be formed in concrete, and the final shape is now visible. The plumbing work around the first waterfall feature right as you enter the park looks to be almost complete, so we should be able to expect to see some concrete being formed and this waterfall feature being completed here in the near future. Just outside of the entrance to the park, the second canopy that was just under the first framing construction on our last update has been completed. This gives the effect of the full oval courtyard that has been seen in different renderings of the park. Concrete is still being poured on the left side of the entrance to create the arches seen on the right. There is some significant excavation work going on between the two arches, presumably for electrical work going vertical for lighting effects around the main entrance. This aerial gives us a great view looking down at the courtyard, and you can see that oval shape clearly from this view. Running back to cover the Grand Helios Hotel, out front you can see the retaining wall and foundation work going on from what more than likely will be an overhang from the main structure. We have also seen some of the first pieces of facade work being installed on the building. Out back you can see where some of these have been delivered and staged for placement. The lobby extension opposite the park continues its work. There are still about 3 footers on either side of the current structure that still need to be completed for the extension. The pool around back actually is starting to see progress made with plumbing work being added and the base of the pool being poured as well. This shows the pool's location relative to the classic Monsters Land. Quickly touching base over at Stella Nova and Stella Luna resorts, we can see that the left resort is currently on the 5th floor of that last part of the main structure, and the right resort has reached the tiles to the corner, so soon we will start to see those tiles wrap around the corner. Over in the Classic Monsters part of Epic Universe, most of the change is noticeable towards the back end of this land. Starting with what looks like to be a fountain behind the main featured ride that uses Kuka arm technology similar to those found in Islands of Adventure. Found next to the main Gothic Manor, DeLacy Snack Stand has seen some roof work happen since our last update. Next door, the Burning Blades Tavern, the scaffolding has completely enclosed the windmill as the facade and theming starts around the windmill. Looking towards the base of the windmill, you can see the rockwork retaining wall theming that is currently being worked on through the scaffolding and are all around the base of the windmill. Over at Curse of the Werewolf, it seems as though theming elements will start to be framed over the left side of the track in this picture, similar to that found on the right side. This is due to the tubing that has been placed over the left side of the track. This is also believed due to the ride envelope that has been found just outside of the load station of Curse of the Werewolf. Over at the entry portal to the classic monsters, you can see, looking between the scaffolding, some paint being shown, as well as behind the portal, the elevation difference between where guests will walk and where services are placed. Over at Super Nintendo World, you really have to look closely at changes that have happened within the Mushroom Kingdom. The foam that we first saw at the last update has been dispersed throughout the entire land and is starting to be placed on the facades of some of the structures. As the pile of foam staged outside of Super Nintendo World diminishes through the coming weeks, it should be more clear where this foam will be placed and sculpted all throughout the land. In the shadows of Mount Beanpool over in the Donkey Kong area, there have been some changes vertically that we will go over, starting with the meet and greet location has seen its metal structure been placed. The metal framing that we saw on the ground staged has also gone vertical next to the splash part of the roller coaster. The ride vehicle that we saw covered on our last update has moved its position to a later part in the track. The escalator that will transport guests to the top of the Mushroom Kingdom has finally seen roofing material go over it. The gift shop and pizza location found next door has seen some exterior work started for theming elements that will soon be placed. Over in the Isle of Berk and the How to Train Your Dragon portion of Epic Universe, most of the work that has been performed since our last update has been around theming. Mead Hall in the central part of the land has seen a lot of the rockwork mesh been added on the exterior of the building. The framing on the other side of Mead Hall, where the rockwork will be attached to, continues. The boat ride that is next to Mead Hall is starting to take shape in the format where riders will enter the load station and exit the load station, and the entrance to the boat ride has been waterproofed on the exterior. All around the main lagoon, it seems as though they have placed some wood paneling down on the concrete to give that more rustic look. It is to be determined whether this stays or if more will go on top as different theming elements appear every week. Speaking of theming elements, rockwork on the backside of the lagoon continues to take shape, as well as the entry portal. More detail is added to the entry portal to make it look like a mountain. Over at the pair of spinning rides, concrete is being poured at the load station on the right ride, and the form has been placed on the left ride, indicating that it will soon be poured as well. This is the first progress we have seen on these rides in the past several updates. Work continues all around the land's roller coaster, where the roller coaster goes underneath the lagoon and guests will go through a cave, as well as framing elements that will be hiding the maintenance bay from view of guests inside of the load station. The load station itself has seen a lot of theming elements worked on around the roof, with the moss look being added to the roof as well, as the crooked boards starting to close in the load station. Over in the streets of Paris and the Wizarding World at Epic Universe, at the entry portal there is some rockwork being done on the edges, as well as more windows have been found inside of the land, and roofing work is being added, as well as scaffolding is being pulled away from the facades inside of where the service restaurant will be, giving us a first look at what these buildings will look like from the streets below. More than likely, there will be some sort of painting done to these facades because they look fairly plain as they currently sit. We will soon find out in the coming weeks as we see more updates. That does it all for this week's update of Epic Universe's construction progress. And it still begs the question, is Epic Universe gonna try to open up sometime next year? We'll soon find out. This has been Justin from Adventures Away. Be sure to subscribe for more Epic Universe construction updates. Until next time, have a great one.